news. Finally found a donor. Won the auction after searching for quite a few of them, losing a few. Had my old boss, Jason from Regal, out in Carlisle, Saskatchewan. He bid on one for me, and it ended up skyrocketing. We lost the bid. Big thanks out to Muffin out of Krieger Sales. He put the bid in on this one for us and won it. More than what we wanted to pay by quite a bit. But it's low mileage. Not much body work to do on it at all. So I'm not complaining. I just have to make the money and work a little bit to make do with. But we're rolling. It's October 14th in northwestern Ontario, and if you're from around these parts, it tends to get cold by Halloween. Sometimes snow on the ground, so I'm in a pickle. It's got some suspension stuff that needs to be dialed in before I can make it rolling, but I need to take a spindle off of the SRT shell to make the front roll. I got all the parts off the back to make the rear of it roll. It's just a control arm, I'm hoping. So I'm gonna go out in the rain, cold rain tonight, put a rain jacket on. I've got an hour or so of daylight left. I'm gonna try and get that switched out onto there. And then I'm hoping this weekend we can get in the shop and start switching over some stuff or get the interior ripped out, or I don't know which step to take, but I'm trying to plan that in my head. I'm going a million miles an hour. So I'll just take you for a little quick walk around with the Jeep. Well, Jeep's arrived. Just gotta rip her all apart now. Nope, Barney. There she is. 6,800 kilometers on it. It was the one that was sitting over there earlier. We just couldn't buy it from the insurance company for some stupid box. So they make things difficult, but you can see exhaust is off, the control arm's broke, needs a skirt, same with the front. I just ripped the axle out, took quite the wallop in the front, but none of the horns I don't think are hit or nothing. So get that back end rolling tonight, and then I can worry about the clip and dropping the motor and all that out. So pretty stoked. There's the fenders and the rear bumper cover all stuffed, ready to go. Got the rim on. So she bottomed out up in here a little bit. Doesn't look like anything's bent though, which is a good sign. Okay, gave her for a couple hours, got the wheels off at least. Better look at everything in there. I think I see some transmission fluid on the ground back there too, which I didn't want to see, but I guess we'll deal with that later. Well, tonight I decided, Friday night, that's how exciting I am. I figured I'd rip that spindle apart. I got this one sandblasted and ready to powder coat already. Gotta clean up that axle. The other axle, I found a little bit of a CV boot tear in it, so I tried repairing it. Fingers crossed. Want to get these A-arms painted, diff painted. Scuff that. Got scuff mirrors. Rescuff this piece. What else do I have to do? Lots, anyways. Tip of the iceberg. I've got totes everywhere. There is like Jeep SRT parts in bags. That's crazy. Making some progress. These e-brake cables, they really get me. Especially this little clip here. It's one of my favorites. But I'm gonna take the rest of that A-arm off and maybe lob the exhaust off so I can get this all switched over to the SRT stuff today, I'm hoping. Put the bumper cover off. Still, that frustrated me, so I moved on and I started getting the front end all stripped down, since no sense looking at it wasting time. So the rad crate is all pretty much ready to be ripped out. Good morning. Sunday, October 17th. Test print for the Jeep fender. Had an idea too. Passed it by a couple guys I work with, they're mechanics. Mar, he stopped yesterday and he's gonna come help give me a hand trying to get the drive shaft off today because I had a hell of a time with it yesterday. So I'm gonna talk to Chris, Pete, Marlon, I think Garrett would probably come. See if we can get a whole crew of us together. I'll buy pizza. Boys help me out, and we'll bring them both up into the mechanic shop and see if we can drop them out the bottom up with the hoist, and then just shimmy the one over and put the SRT stuff up into the donor. So thanks for that. Anyways, hoping that works out, and try and film a little bit doing some tinkering today with the rear suspension and get the party started. Test print! .3M clear material, it's awesome. I'm calling the professionals here to get the drive shaft off for me. Yeah, professionals. What have you been a mechanic? A couple years now, eh, Mar?
A couple years. Twisted wrenches, you know, cursing, swearing.
Oh yeah. Sweet. We're all gray.
Yep.
Gas tank's out. I'm a fool though, I broke this like I did on the SRT and I dropped the tank out, but I don't need it. But tank's out. Just gonna get this rear diff out. I got the control arm out finally so I can get it the bolt. Big thanks again to Mar for getting that drive shaft off for me. So I'm gonna try and get all this driver's side stuff all out too, and change the shock and all that, and try and get everything painted up today. We got Garrett in here scuffing. Voila! Well, it started raining. I must have been getting too much work done. Rear diff's out, control arms are back in. Just gonna start assembly. Rain. Just getting ready. I'm gonna try and get the mirrors painted tonight. Maybe epoxy the gear bowl, just so it looks better than that corroded aluminum shit. I want it cleaned up, looking nice, even though people are like, oh, you're Northwestern Ontario, why are you bothering? Well, that's not the point. Kind of getting burnt out though. I've been working on this the last couple days, this ram. I'm doing a roof skin in it. That's taken me a couple days to get this all to that point. So when you're doing this all day and then you got a jet to do your own stuff, sometimes it's hard not to get burnt out, but I do my best, keep plugging away and stay productive at work. So just had a little scratch I had to touch up in the mirror, and then we'll sand that down, give it a little coat of sealer, and we paint those black. Kind of pre-bathed the gear ball last night and washed it, scrubbed it down with a brush, and then scuffed it and then wiped it down with thinner just a little bit. I mean, I'm not getting too fussy. I just, like I said, I want it to be cleaned up and look a little more presentable for when we look under it when it's fresh, and just want it to be nice. That's what we're doing all this work for, you know. It'd be nice to have something sweet. Sway bars in. Garrett and Pete helped me hold some stuff, get the shock up in there. It's looking good. I'll just walk around and get the strap on there.
Well, yeah.
It seems like, yeah, so we're gonna need box liner out and drive. Okay. Let's do this. Lots of progress tonight. Jeep's in the shop. Gonna do some ratchet strapping to keep the ball joint all together, but it worked. We got it pushed in the shop. Flares installed. Garrett came and gave us a big hand tonight. He got most of that side harness changed. Now we just gotta drop the rear cradle so we can put the harness up above the cradle. Hallie got the taillights popped out, and she's got those all sanded, ready to be smoked. Mirrors are all painted, ready to go on. I gotta smoke the turn signal lens on those tomorrow. And those are good. New harness. It's got the trailer plug, which is awesome. Rear diff looks good. Sway bar. Shocks. Get those rims painted to match. It's gonna look pretty snazzy. So far, had a very productive day. Me and Garrett started attempting to change this wiring harness last night. And then we found out that we had to be able to tuck it up underneath the K-member, so we had to drop that today. It's pretty much ready to go back up inside. And I got all the interior gutted. I'm gonna try and give her shit and get most of this body harness inside the vehicle changed, and if that goes good, I'm gonna tie into the dash too and just get this all swapped over. Long day, productive one though. Just about ready to call her quits after 12-13 hours here. Got the interior all ripped out, and look at the wiring. I'm gonna tackle most of this tomorrow. I'm just getting it laid out so I can come in the morning and hopefully bing bang boom put her all together. Good morning. Oh yeah, that sounds real good. Sorry about that. Try that again. Good morning, everybody. Trying to stay chip and spry, even though I was here 14 hours yesterday. As you can see, no Garrett. I'm gonna have like half a Jeep done by the time the kid buffs two sides of a truck. A little shot for little G there. He's been good. He's been a lot of help. So I like giving him a hard time. That's just Corey, eh? I do that to people. Today's agenda, try and get the wiring harness all buttoned up. I'm hoping I can get into the dash. So the shop's a mess. I mean, the dealership opens back up tomorrow, obviously, to do our regular work, and I gotta do the roof skin on that truck. So I need to clean up all this crap, and I don't got much time to do it, so it's gonna be a giver day. So let's get going. So I gotta switch out this harness for the headliner because the mirror was different on the SRT. The whole headliner's got to come down too, and then I can tidy up that wiring in the back right over here, and then I can pull all the old V6 stuff out of here and carry on. Making some progress. Yeah, I had to change the whole harness underneath the vehicle. Had to do the entire one on the inside too because everything on the SRT is different. I am hoping I'm able to use the different sunroof because this has a small sunroof in it, but the mirror harness is actually separate, which is nice. So I've changed that already. Airbags are all plugged in. It's just about ready to go back up. I gotta do some soldering of some plugs back here. Some that got smashed up in the accident, as you can see. A lot of wires. That's gonna be fun. A couple here that go into this. I don't know if it's for the tire pressure sensor box or what, so I gotta fix a couple of those too. Just want to say, I've had two people, it's after 5 o'clock here at the shop, come and check out the donor already. It's getting a lot of attention, so it's time for it to go, I think. Just trying to go through all the steps now. We were figuring out today what we got to do to the Jeep to get it all in order for the structural safety and getting the title from a salvage to a rebuilt title in Ontario here. So there's like 17 to 20 steps that we got to take care of and do them all properly and document all to get this thing back on the road. So one of the steps was it needed to be put on the frame bench for some pictures, and I got to take a couple frame measurements of it to make sure the frame's not tweaked. So I'm just getting going on that right now, and so we got it pushed over, dogged it over here. We still got the ratchet straps on the front. I should have took that axle out. It's giving me some grief, but I didn't. So thanks to Marlon, my co-worker, he helped me push it over in the stall. So I just got it ready to go on the scissor lift, and then I can take some frame measurements here. Going up. Heavy. Double check our points. Make sure we're on the ball here. Oh, we're not even touching over here yet. I'll bump that up just a bit. Is this one touching? Oh yeah, we're touching there. Okay, let's try this again. That might help out the situation. Up she goes. Global jig. Pretty sweet unit we got here. We haven't got to use it much. Yes, gotta put the floor jacks on. So here's the next step. You put the wheels on this cool little dolly cart here, and then we drop it down. Oh, must have caught on that. There we go. Okay, so once it's on the wheels, we drop it down past the point, and then I gotta install those pinch weld brackets that are right here, and that'll clamp it down and hold it in place. Got the measuring system under there. We're just taking a few measurements. It's kind of neat because I haven't done much of this in my career, actually. So I'm retraining myself, and so far, yeah, we got a few little kinks in there, but nothing too serious. There's the setup. There's the hangers it picks up on. I've still been fighting with the frame machine to give me a decent, see if I can show you, frame measurement for right here and right here, because it's saying it's 22 mils low, and there's no way in hell, like my quarter pounds would be buckled, or my doors on the back wouldn't fit or something, so that's not right. And when I measured it the other night, somehow I measured this square just by itself by freezing the front measurements, and I got a good reading. It was like 2 mils out or something, which is nothing. So I still want to figure that out before I drop it down and we start giving her on the rest of the interior wiring harness. Okay, so we got the initial inspection finished. As I could tell, this was obviously pushed up a little bit. Not that bad. I was having some troubles with the back end here. I was getting some mixed match readings when I was going to this bolt here because I was out of magnets, and I had these, it's kind of like it hangs like this, so it doesn't get a total flush mount, I don't think, up there. So I checked it after I pulled a couple trams off the front, and I got a better reading. So it's not bent very, very bad. So we're gonna get everything switched out, and we will get it all figured out here, because that was the initial reading. It was saying it was like 21 mils out. Like, so if there's 21 mils out on this Jeep, these door gaps are gonna be touching. That quarter panel is gonna be buckled up there somewhere. Like, out quite a bit. So when I took the rereading on the frame, I was definitely reassured a little bit. And then I called my old boss Jason Humphreys at Regal Auto Body in Saskatchewan, and that man knows his stuff, and sure as hell I remeasured it and everything was back pretty kosher, because this thing didn't take too hard of an accident.
From
So.
if you can see here, like this thing, it got bottomed out on the cross member pretty decent. I think there's a slight small crack in the pan, and yeah, see where it hit right there? Nice rub mark. I'm not using any of this stuff though, but you can see the ball joint was broke. Our straps are holding that together still, pretty sweet. Good evening. Today, made some progress. I had this wire hanging here, and I thought I'd label it as a airbag sensor for like a, obviously an airbag for in the dash or whatever. So that was wrong. That was the only thing I didn't have hooked up in the ass end already. And Pete searched high and low through the wiring, wire by wire, to look at the colors of the wires on here. I even sent it to a guy named Josh Scher. He's got a pretty cool car building page where he's got a sweet Jeep he's building, built motor in. But he reached out and said he was gonna check his Jeep for me, but then we figured it out before Josh could check. So check out Josh Scher's page on Instagram and YouTube for sure though, because he does some cool shit. But anyways, yeah, it was a active suspension dampening sensor. So yeah, we got that figured out. Pretty cool. It was a $200 part, and I went out to the rack and it was still on there, thank God. So let's hope it's good. Last night, Allison and I worked till midnight. Got all these plugs changed out. I'd cut a few off. They're all smashed from the accident. Some are corroded, as you can see. I got this one left to do, this big stereo plug. And then all that wiring's done. We worked on that till midnight last night. And I also had to plastic weld up the sub box, because the one out of the Laredo was different. The sub was actually smaller. I thought I'd be able to get away with it, but we saved all the little tabs at least right here. So yeah, got that all fixed up. Garrett come by last night, worked for an hour and a half scuffing a few panels. I had a few done already too. I got a couple more left to do. I'm gonna try and get all this stuff shot today so that it's ready to go back in. I still got those big ones to scuff. Obviously, I haven't decided if I'm going to try and mask this off where the carpet is, or if I'm going to break the plastic spot welds in the back. So, but it's coming together. It is coming together. My buddy Trav Hagen swung by a week ago, last Friday, and he helped me get all the old Laredo wiring out of the inside, and we swapped over all the SRT stuff. So everything in here is SRT now. Even the heater core up here was different even. So, and all the door wiring I'll still have to change, like all the door guts. That wiring is different on the SRT even. So yeah, pretty neat learning everything. But the headliner's all in. We got the suede sun visors in. Yeah, she's coming along. We gotta get the windshield switched out yet, so that'll be next week, hopefully with the engine. I'm hoping, fingers are crossed, but we're making headway.